I was 19 years old, coming back from a surf trip in Baja, California, when I was involved in an automobile accident that left me without the use of my legs and altered my life forever. Being isolated from activities that you like to do and from friends that you used to share those activities with is one of the worst feelings I can think of. It was 3 months after my accident, and I was lying in bed reading a brochure about an off-road wheelchair, and that's when I gave John Castellano a call.
I've always played around with things with wheels on them. I grew up building skateboards and bicycles and downhill go-karts and things like that. And then when I went to college, I went to MIT up in Boston and I studied mechanical engineering so that I could build other things with wheels on them and do it the right way. Got into mountain biking about 1984, and a couple years later started wondering if there was an equivalent thing for wheelchairs. So I decided to just hand build a few myself. I put out a couple of press releases, one in Sports and Spokes, and John was going through rehab from his car crash in the hospital, and he picked up the issue of Sports and Spokes and called me from the hospital and said, "Hey, I need one of those things." He couldn't afford one at the time, but he asked if he could borrow my prototype for a weekend. So he came up and borrowed it and took it up to the motorcycle races, and then borrowed some money from his grandmother for the down payment and just started saving up for one of his own. Well, right from the very beginning, I knew that he needed a slightly different chair than the average. I mean, most of them were built for camping, hunting, fishing, that kind of thing, but he had already played around with my prototype doing downhill stuff, and he knew he wanted to go downhill and go fast. So what we did was just stretch the wheelbase out and make it a little lower and wider and slow down the steering, sort of the same thing you do for a downhill bicycle versus a cross-country bicycle. It's got technology from a variety of sources. It's got off-road buggy technology, the kind of vehicles you run down Baja. It's got bicycle and wheelchair technology in the wheels, and the brake system is kind of from a combination of bicycles and motorcycles and cars. And it's got some sailboat technology in the seat and in the seat adjusters, all kind of pulled together to make a vehicle that has similarities to all of those but isn't like any of them. There's been a real tendency for only wheelchair users to design wheelchair equipment, and there's definitely a need for people who are in aerospace, into racing cars, into a variety of things to get involved because there's a lot of work to be done.